The photos that I've just shown you on screen are all my personal creations. Take note that I use the word creations instead of photos. These photos have been manipulated using generative AI, and I think that there's a fine line between ethical and non-ethical use of generative AI. This is obviously my personal opinion, and I don't want anyone to get offended by what I will be saying here. So if this is something that you like doing, please make sure to keep doing it. Don't worry about what I will be saying here. So today I would like to show you two examples of what an unethical type of edit means to me and what an ethical edit looks like for me. So an unethical photo for me would be this photo manipulated into a shot where there's a waterfall falling into this stream right here, another mountain behind this hill, I don't know, maybe changing the sky. So today I will be showing you how powerful generative AI is and how easy it is to do these kinds of changes. Nevertheless, I still feel like this is unethical, and I will be showing you yet another photo, and I'm going to be doing some changes to this other photo in a way that I feel is ethical and in a way that I feel Photoshop can help you do changes to your photo easily. So this is the first photo, and this will be the unethical edit in my opinion. So let's immediately duplicate the layer. I'm going to start off by adding another mountain in the background. Click Generative AI, and let's see what it comes up with. Usually Generative AI would practically remove what you've selected and completely transform it into what you have written in your prompt. So as you can see, Generative AI has given us three options, and you can see how powerful this tool is. It's incredible what capabilities this tool has. I will go for the third option because I feel it's more natural, it's more balanced as an image. And now I'm going to use this part of the photo, and I'm going to make a rough selection, and right here I'm going to write waterfall. And let's see if Generative AI can fill this part of the image in a way that I feel like a waterfall can come down from this particular area. Right there, another three options. You can keep on adding more prompts to each of the parts that you feel like can change into something that you would like. I will once again select this area, write waterfall once again. Let's see what it comes up with, and this is what I was looking for actually. So I'm going for the first option of the image. You can see that it's quite natural, it looks quite natural. Obviously, anyone who knows this place, anyone who's been to this place, knows that this waterfall isn't real. However, if you've never been to this area, you might be fooled that this is an actual scene. This is an actual place that has this really nice waterfall, these beautiful mountains in the background. So as you can see, we've transformed our image into, let's move this layer on top. So this was the original image, and this is what we've transformed it into. And to me, this feels like it's unethical only because this is not an actual photo that I shot. As a photographer, I think this is unethical because part of my job is to actually make sure to capture a nice representation of a real scene. So that's part one of this video. I'm going to move over to my next photo. This is a lake in Slovenia with this nice mountain in the background, and I thought that this rock would be a nice foreground part to my image. I like to actually manipulate my photo in a way to reduce dead space in the photo. And usually I do this by selecting a part of the image that I would like to retain in my photo, duplicating that selection. I'm going to once again select all of that layer, select inverse, and I'm going to feather my selection by 100 pixels. And now I'm going to press delete on my keyboard. Once I move my selection upwards, you can see that my selection sort of merges into the bottom layer of the image. We don't want to overdo it, we just want to move it just slightly in order to have a better composition. So if I decide to crop my image and use a 4:5 crop ratio, you can see that the rock is not sitting perfectly somewhere around a third of the rule of thirds. So what I would like to do with using generative AI is move this particular rock in a way that I can move it directly at the first third of the rule of thirds. It's not very far away, but it would look much better if I can place it on the rule of thirds actually. So I'm going to crop the image, select the rock itself. I'm going to duplicate the selection, select it, feather maybe by 20, select inverse and delete, and now I will move it just slightly upwards. And right there is the perfect place that I would like to place my rock. So next step is to select around the rock using the lasso tool or any other tool, and I want to remove this part of the image where the base of my rock from the previous layer still shows, as well as these particular artifacts that sort of still show from the move that I just made. It's not very clear in this photo, but using this particular method to move around things in a photo tends to leave simple traces that can be detected by someone with a sharp eye. So instead of putting a prompt here, I'm just going to leave it empty. I'm just going to press enter on my keyboard, and I'm going to let Photoshop decide what to fill this selection with. And Photoshop will probably look around for the adjacent pixels, see what it can fill with, and smoothen out that selection. As you can see, if we disable this layer, you can see what a great job it did by continuing the patterns that there were around this particular rock in a way that looks very natural. We can see other options. I think all the three options look really good, but I think I will be going for the second option because it feels like this rock in front of my rock selection is actually more natural right here. If we take a look at the difference between my original shot and the changes that I've made using generative AI, you can see that the only thing I did was move a selection of my image upwards, as well as move the rock upwards in order to make it sit perfectly on the rule of thirds. As you can see, there is a bit of a change, but it's not as drastic as this particular change. You can see that we've created fake things in this particular image, whilst we've retained everything in this image natural, but we've moved some things around just to place them properly in a composition, I would say. So I hope you understand how powerful generative AI can be, and that you can be easily fooled by photos manipulated using generative AI, because many people out there are starting to use generative AI in Photoshop as part of their normal workflow. I tend to not agree with this particular workflow, but once again, that's my personal opinion. I really hope that you found this video interesting. As always, thank you for watching, and please make sure to like and subscribe.